my viewers, you are warmly welcome to this channel. I am Osas, the author of this channel, and in this lesson we're going to continue from where we stopped in my last video. But before we start, I had to quickly apologize for not uploading videos since last month. I've been very busy. I had a very big project I was executing. Now that I'm done, hopefully we will be back steady. You will recall that in my last video, we used the completing the square method to solve this quadratic equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. And at the end of that video, we got the solution to this equation using the completing the square method. And we had x to be equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This was the formula we arrived at in my last video. So in this lesson, we're going to apply this technique, the completing the square method. We're going to apply it to solve a problem hand. And the example we're going to solve is 3r squared minus 8r minus 4 equals to 0. This exercise, we're going to work it in two ways. First, in this video, we're going to use completing the square method to solve this quadratic equation. And in my next video, we're going to use formula method. That is, this formula that we had before, we're going to apply it. We are not just deriving it, we're going to apply it to solve this same quadratic equation. So it's going to be a very interesting work. So in this video, we are starting with this. 3r squared minus 8r minus 4 equals to 0. Solving this equation using completing the square method. Like we did in that video, the first step was to transfer this constant across equality sign to the other side. And if you do that, you have this. In other words, this minus 4 will change to plus 4. That's why the first step will be like this. The second step, we reduce the coefficient of the square variable to 1. That means this 3r squared, we don't want the 3 to be there. We divide each term by 3. If we divide each term by 3, then the coefficient of this r squared will change to 1. So if I do that, we're going to have this step. 3r squared over 3 minus 8r over 3 equals to 4 over 3. So if this 3 and this 3 cancel out, I'm going to have my r squared equals to 8 over 3r equals to 4 over 3. Now, what then is the next step? The next step is the main technique, complete the squares. And what does that involve? Take half the coefficient of r, square it, and add it to both sides. The coefficient of r here is minus 8 over 3, as you can see here, 8 over 3. So that is the 8 over 3 here. Half of it will be times 1 over 2. And when you take half of it, this 2 and this 8 will cancel out. You have minus 4 over 3. And the rule says square it. Once you square it, you have this square. So what this square will do, first it will change this minus to positive sign. And if that happens, you are having 4 all over 3 all square. So this is the term we're going to add to both sides of the equation. So if I'm adding this term to both sides of the equation, I'm having r squared minus 8 over 3r plus the term we are adding, 4 over 3 in bracket r squared equals to. Then on my left hand side, I will have the short form. On my right, I will expand it. 4 squared will give me 16. 3 squared will give me 9. This is the constant that has been, so we add them. So I have actually added half the coefficient of x, squaring it to both sides of the equation. That's what we have here. 4 over 3 bracket square, and on my right hand side I'm having 16 over 9. This term and this term, they are actually the same. What is the next procedure? The next step here will be to simplify. I will simplify the left hand side as well as the right hand side. On my right, I will write the right hand side of this equation. On the left hand side in short form, and the short form will be pick this arrow, then the sign of the coefficient of arrow, which is negative, is what we enter the bracket. Then I will pick this 10, bracket everything, and then square it. Now this short form and this expanded form, they are exactly the same. Then on my right hand side, because I have fraction here with addition sign, I will sum up using the LCM of the denominators. The LCM here is 9. So if I sum up, I'm having 9 over 3 will give me 3 times 4, 12. 9 divided by 9 is 1, 1 times 16, 16. So if I sum this right hand side, I will have this. If I shorten this left hand side, I will have this. What then will I do next? Just watch. Yes, on my right, I'm going to have 28 over 9 equals to arrow minus 4 over 3 all square. Now we are back to simple algebra. The square we have in here, which arithmetic operation will remove it? Square root is the operation that removes square. So that's why you are having this statement here. Take the square root of both sides. Take the square root of both sides. The reason why I'm doing that is to remove this square. So if I do that, I'm going to have this step. Square root of everything square equals to, you remember from my last video, we said if you take the square root of a number, you introduce the plus or minus sign. So this one will be square root of 28 over 9. What happens here? This square and the square root will cancel out. And if that happens, what will be left on my left hand side will be arrow minus 4 over 3 equals to. Now, the square root of this will be, you can say that 28 over 9, to simplify it, take the square root, then you will have 1.764. Of course, 28 is not a perfect square, so it does not have square root, which means you have to use calculator to simplify, and when you do that, you will have this. What will be the next operation? You take this minus 4 over 3 across equality sign to the right. If you do that, this minus again will change to positive. And 4 over 3 is 1.33. So it's now going to be R equals to 1.33 plus or minus 1.764. Fine. In this case, because of this addition or subtraction sign, we're going to have two answers. The first answer, you take one of the sign. In this case, I'm taking the positive value first, after which I will come and take the negative sign. So either arrow will be equals to 1.33 plus 1.764, in which case this plus this will give me 3.097, which is one of the answers, or R will be equals to 1.33 minus, in which case my R will be equals to minus 0.43. So if I solve this quadratic equation using completing the square method, these are the values of R that I'm going to get. 3.1 or minus 0.43. So this is the procedure for using completing the square method. So you can see that this channel is actually rich, is designed to help all of us strengthen our hands in mathematics especially. So if you feel that you have benefited from this video, fine, do us the honor, subscribe to this channel, share this video, drop your comment. Any question you have, drop it in the comment section. In fact, the first video where I derived the completed the square method, I will include the link in the description box, so that if you have not watched that video, you watch it and then follow it up with this example. Like I said before, in my next video, we are going to use the formula method to solve this same question, but then we're using a different approach. So at the end of the day, we see that whether you're using formula method or completing the square method, if you follow the two processes correctly, you're going to arrive at the same answer. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in my next video. Please don't forget, subscribe to this channel. That is the only thing you are paying. Subscribe and share it. In fact, you can smash the subscription button, but don't destroy your phone. Just smash the subscription button. Yeah, smash it. Share with your friends and then benefit from the video. See you in my next upload. Thank you.